Family is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. The culture's been discussing the tragedy of Ashley Janae, who was a 31-year-old Miami-based lifestyle influencer who flew to Zanzibar, Tanzania with her fiancé, Joe McCann, who was the founder of a crypto investment firm, Asymmetrical Financial. And he is a multi-millionaire white businessman. And they flew to celebrate her 31st birthday and their recent engagement. Now, apparently what ended up happening while they were on this trip was there was a huge argument that they had to be separated and they were in separate rooms. And this woman ended up dead. She was hung. Now, the local authorities ruled it a possible self-unaliving, but now her fiance Joe McCann is being questioned as a witness and his passport has been confiscated while the investigation continues. There hasn't been any official autopsy reports yet, but people nonetheless have been speculating, and the vibe I get from social media is most people suspect foul play, that this man is responsible for her death. Now, her family has spoken out. They said that she gave zero indication that she'd ever harm herself, and that there certainly wasn't any indication, if you look at all her social media posts, that she would do this. And the fiance was acting kind of suspicious. He first contacted them and said that everything was fine, and they hadn't heard about the issue until the hotel contacted them. So the whole thing reeks of suspicion, and people have been speculating on a number of issues. First thing I want to say is rest in peace to this young woman. Okay. There have been a number of things that people have been talking about, debating. Apparently she made statements that were disparaging of black men, and a lot of people have refused to offer any sympathy, any empathy to this woman because, well, she may have said certain things or done certain things, or, you know, people have an issue with the interracial relationship that she was in. I want to say first and foremost, man, we need to have a heart. Okay. Listen, man, this is a young woman who lost her life. I refuse to become apathetic towards someone's death because of the fact that they may have said or done some things that I may disagree with. And I don't even have a problem with interracial relationships, but I do have a problem with promoting an interrelationship over a relationship with someone in your own race, right? But even if that's the type of time that she was on, we should never be apathetic or even celebratory for someone's unfortunate demise. At the end of the day, this was still a beautiful black queen, made in the image and likeness of God, carrying his likeness, and didn't deserve to have her life snuffed out. And so we must maintain some level of decency and not relegate people to deserving of some sort of horrific circumstance because, well, she said certain things and did some things that's controversial. And by the way, I'm being consistent with this because I remember when Christian Abumseli died. He was the Nigerian man, I believe, who was killed by his white social media influencer. She was an IG model, popular IG model with like 2 million followers. And she apparently stabbed him in an incident. And they pulled up tweets and social media of him saying some things about black women. And everybody was like, all right, well, you know what, man, he said this, so screw him. You know, I didn't like that type of mentality back then. And so I'm being consistent now. I understand that people say hurtful and painful things, you know, and black people, between men and women, we need a lot of healing, black men and black women, because we constantly go at each other publicly. And this is, I think, exposing the pain that we have towards one another. But I always think that when someone meets an unfortunate demise, when they're murdered, we must uphold the person's humanity and dignity. And we can't justify horrific actions based on the fact that they said and did things that are bad. That's the same type of argument that conservatives make with black people, by the way, right? Whenever we were like, oh my God, the situation with George Floyd, how terrible that was. What did white conservatives do? Oh, well, George Floyd, he committed this crime and then he went to jail, so blah, blah, blah. Who cares what happened to? We cannot continue to dehumanize people by their actions. People do and say stupid things, but if a horrible, unfortunate tragedy befalls them, we can't decide whether to mourn or decide whether or not they're worthy of our concern and worthy of us, ensuring that they receive justice because they said and did stupid things. It just is what it is. And so I've been maintaining that. And the one thing I want to say on this too before I move on from this is I really feel like we do this thing where we capture people at their worst moments and we hold them out in perpetuity that this is what they'll believe for the rest of their life. And what do I mean by this? Ashley was 31 years old. She was still a relatively young woman. I know people think, oh my God, 30, you're an auntie, you're an uncle. No, okay, 31 is still very young. Okay, maybe she thought and said some disparaging things about black men, but that doesn't mean she would stay in that mode for the rest of her life. We got to let people have time to grow, think. We don't know what Ashley would have been like at 51 and what she would have been able to do. Like, so for me, I think it's terrible that we would capture a post that she said years ago and go, well, this is who she is. Like, she can't be anything different, become anything different. Like, her life was cut short. We don't know what she would have became. And so I know for a fact, I wouldn't want you to catch me at my worst moment, something I said 10, 15 years ago, something I may have tweeted, and take that as the slice of who I am and the sum total of who I am. And if some horrible tragedy befalls me, no one wants to mourn my death or seek justice because here's this one thing I said back then. I just think that that's a bad way to assess people's character. And again, I want to make the point, and I firmly believe this, even if the sum total of her character was that she hated black men, still doesn't deserve what happened to her, and we should want to see justice for Ashley. But I also do want to say to the people, especially I'm speaking to my own people, black people, the black men and the black women who have bought into this idea that the opposing gender is evil and you should go out and find yourself a white man or a person of a different race. I think we have seen enough examples now of interracial relationships where the white partner harms the black partner to know that the grass isn't greener on the other side. Okay? I mean, can we kill this whole black men ain't anything and black women ain't anything? We need to go find you a white, this is it. Listen, y'all will go chase a white person and die. And we've seen that now on both sides of the equation very prominently, stuff that hits the news, and forget about the things that haven't hit the news. So I feel like we need to come to the conclusion, and I know this seems to be very difficult. Your race and your gender has nothing to do with your character. I don't know why that seems to be so hard for people to wrap their minds around, but there are good black men, evil black men. There are good black women, evil black women. There are good white men, evil white men. Good white women, evil white women. The issue isn't your race or your gender, it's your character. And I feel like Martin Luther King said that he wanted people not to be judged by their appearance and the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. We still haven't actualized Martin Luther King's dream. I'm seeing so much dialogue. Well, see, that's why you can't be with a white man, cause blah, blah, blah. Or this why you can't be with, a black man, black women talking about blah. Listen, it's the content of your character, not your appearance. Now, we must say, technically, we don't know what happened. That her fiance could be innocent. If you ask me what I think, I'm leaning in the direction that he is guilty. Her social media posts just simply did not look like she was capable of that. But I do think it raises a larger point that what we see on social media oftentimes just is not real. In either scenario, right, whether or not she unalived herself or he unalived her, at the end of the day, what she posted on social media was fake. She gave no indication that she was depressed, sad. And the thing about social media is that it's always just a highlight reel of your highs. And many, many people, especially influencers, never have any real transparency about what they're going through and what they're dealing with. It's, oh, look at me, I'm over here, I'm doing this, and I'm living this wealthy, rich life, and I got on these clothes, and look how much my life is so much better than yours, essentially. And no one's ever real about the depression that they're going through, the issues that they're facing. Everyone has to put their best face forward. And so you never really know what someone's dealing with by their social media. And to me, I would rather you know that I ain't doing too well. I don't believe in going to social media and airing out all your problems and treating social media like your personal journal or diary. But to be honest with you, I'd rather let people know, look, man, pray for me, I'm struggling. Or I'd rather post a video saying, look, this is what I'm dealing with, blah, 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 than to let people think I'm all good. But some people, that's how they use social media. They pull up, they just put out all the best version of themselves at all times, and you would never think they got anything going on. And if the other scenario is true, where he took her life, then that whole relationship and that whole soft life that she was promoting, go and get yourself a white man and everything's gonna be all right, was fake and false. And the relationship was phony and it was toxic. And either way, for him, it doesn't look good, because obviously if he killed her, he's a murderer. But even if she unalived herself, then that basically, that points to the fact that that relationship had to have been so toxic that in a moment she just decided, I just want to be out of here. I'm done with this. Either way, I'm looking at him like, what did you do? Because you either took her out or she took herself out after a huge argument with you, which must mean that something must have been really going on in that relationship. So either way, he's cooked, in my opinion. Obviously, one is a legal problem and the other one isn't for him, but it points to his character as something that isn't good. But anyway, family, I don't blame this woman for anything that happened to her. I hope she receives justice. Prayers out to her family. I'm sure they're distraught, and I hope the truth comes to light. I will continue to cover this story, but I just hope that the conversation remains respectful and humane. Respect her humanity at the end of the day, even though she may have said and done things that's crazy. But anyway, guys, that's been my thoughts. You guys let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Are you washing your hands of this black man because she said some disparaging things about us? Do you feel like you want to keep the same energy that you seen black women have with us? Black women, are we tripping? Are we just not supporting and protecting black women like we always do, or whatever? Whatever you think, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been Providence.